Hello, everyone. Welcome to this segment of Refuel, Recharge Your Nutritional Habits. I am Aaron Kennebrew, and this is
Lisa Dupatti.
we are here today, and Lisa will really be providing us a great dish. And Lisa, I'm so excited about what you're going to be cooking today. What are you going to be cooking?
So I chose a Mediterranean pasta dish. It's very easy and it's quick, which is about 30 minutes. And I know today with us working from home and managing kids, sometimes you need a good dish that takes the less time. And it's only 6 ingredients. So you really don't have to spend a whole lot of time in the kitchen. But the most important thing is to prep all of your stuff first before you start cooking.
Okay, well, Lisa, can you tell us the ingredients? Because I'm looking at these ingredients right here. It's very colorful. It smells wonderful in here.
So we have artichokes. We have fresh, they call cherry, the grape tomatoes. Black olives, Parmesan cheese, not the kind that you get and put on your pizza in the plastic container, fresh Parmesan cheese. We have our seasoned blend, which is salt, pepper, red pepper flakes, and then I have a Za'atar Mediterranean blend in it as well.
Okay.
And we have fresh garlic and parsley, and then we have our pasta.
And everyone, listen, it smells so wonderful in here right now, and Lisa has not even began to cook. So I can't wait to see how this is going to actually turn out. So, Lisa, can you go ahead and let's get started?
So the first thing you want to do is drain your olives, wash your tomatoes, and drain your artichokes out the can. That's kind of the first things you want to do. And put your pasta on to boil, because while that's boiling, you can prep all of this. And when you're ready to cook, you can just throw your pasta in.
Got it.
But when you drain your pasta, just make sure you save some of the pasta water just for a little flavor and so your pasta won't stick in your pan when you're cooking.
So we don't totally drain it. Just
don't totally drain it. Just put some to the side.
Got it.
So first thing is we're going to cut our black olives. So black olives are not a popular dish or ingredient because people don't like it. They just think the taste is weird. But I like it, and it's a good salt substitute.
Got it, because I've had black olives before, and I wasn't an olive fan, but I've had it, and it does have a very salty taste. But I'm noticing that although you have these olives, we also have this ingredient right here with salt in it.
So it's twofold. I use my ingredients first before I add any flavor or salt or pepper, because sometimes your food itself will give you that saltiness that you need. And this way you don't have to try to water down your dish after you've already made it and you already have that salt content. But once again, if you don't like olives, just add a little salt at the end for your taste.
Got it, because I was doing some reading, and I know in certain ethnicity groups, you have people that suffer from like hypertension, and they have to literally really watch their sodium intake. So I think that's some great information that you just passed along.
Definitely do your research to see what ingredients that you like to eat already have salt content. It will definitely help.
Now I do notice we don't have any like meat options.
Oh yeah.
So let me ask you a question. What about those individuals that like meat? I mean, this is like a veggie dish right here.
Yes.
But what about those individuals that like meat? Like, what type of meat would you offer for this dish?
So it depends on what you like. So you have chicken, which is always the first choice for most people. But the best thing to do is to bake it or saute it in a pan before you cook it, and just put it to the sides and season it to your taste.
Got it.
If you are not someone who eats chicken, there's the fish option.
Got it. Just like me, I don't eat meat from the land, no, the air. So like fish, what type of fish? Because, for example, I love sea bass.
Okay.
But I'm also a salmon eater. I eat salmon. I eat a variety of fish. But then some people like shellfish. So can you like explain what type of fish or seafood you can eat with this dish?
So it depends on your desire at the time. So if you're someone who's a health nut who likes to count macros and calories, fish, salmon, for instance, is going to have a higher fat intake and higher calories. I believe it's like 180 calories, and that's because you have about 10 grams of fat in salmon. Shrimp.
180 calories versus chicken. What would chicken?
Chicken
be?
is 165.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah. Shrimp is only about 76 calories because it's a much lower fat content. But that gives you the protein options that you have that you want to add into your meal.
Got it.
So we have our olives that we can just cut in half. We have our artichokes that you've already drained. You're just going to cut them down as well. Nothing fancy. This does not have to be a perfectly cut vegetable at all.
So the artichokes are drained. Are artichokes in oil or water? Or?
They're usually in water in a can.
Okay.
And you can I prefer artichokes out of can because it's very hard to cut an artichoke. I don't like it at all. It takes a lot of time. Okay.
Nutritional value for artichokes. I haven't done a lot of research on artichokes. Is it?
It's considered a vegetable, so you're gonna have
Okay.
low protein, low carb. But it's part of your vegetable intake for the day. So when you add it into this particular dish, it's just another layer of flavor, just like tomato. So I know with most pasta dishes, we like to add sugar. But when you cook grape tomatoes down, they are sweet, and you're gonna smell it in the aroma.
Okay.
And it gives you the sweetness that you want in your spaghetti. So that's, once again, if someone's trying to cut down on sugar, you don't want to add it to your pasta dish. Just use a fresh ingredient.
That's good information. Everybody remember that sugar.
I know we love to add sugar to our spaghetti when we cook, but it doesn't have to always be done.
What you're saying is, actually doing research on your ingredients is very important, all depending on what your goal is for yourself.
Absolutely.
Because I wasn't aware about that with these tomatoes, and it cooks, and then you add that sugar.
Yeah, it's a good option. So everything is cut. As you see, that was pretty easy, pretty quick. It probably took longer because we were talking. So you cut your olives in half, you cut your tomatoes, you cut down your artichokes. You can shred your cheese. Now you have two options for the cheese. You can buy it pre-shaved, already cut, less time, of course. We're all about cutting time. Or you can do like I do sometimes and just shred it yourself and just buy the cube in the store. Either way, it's the better option than the can that you get in the plastic container that you put on top of your pizza. It's not the same thing, and it does not melt the same. Trust me. My husband
It's not
tried.
the same thing. It doesn't melt the same.
It doesn't make the
if
same.
I had the time, you know which one I choose? I choose this.
I
I'll
know.
make a romantic moment with me and my wife. Like,
So shredded
let's cook together.
cheese. Absolutely. And then we have our parsley. Now, there's nothing special about parsley. It does just add another layer of flavor to your pasta. Of course, it's much better to have it fresh, but you can buy it already dried and cut for you. But I like fresh stuff.
Now, I was looking at the ingredients. Let's talk about the noodles for a minute.
The noodles.
Yeah, let's talk about the noodles. If I'm not mistaken, this particular ingredients called for like some type of wheat pasta.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
As I was doing my research, you have regular pasta, you have wheat pasta, but I'm looking here, you also have something that looks like zucchini noodles. So can you just explain to everyone
So
wheat pasta, zucchini noodles?
Wheat pasta and regular angel hair pasta, pretty much you're going to have the same carb intake. However, wheat pasta
Hold on. Say that again.
is going to have the same carb intake. So when you go to the store, if you look at your nutritional label on your boxes, the carb is going to be the same. It's not going to be that much of a difference. The only difference is wheat pasta is going to give you more fiber.
So now everybody hear that, because I was under the impression that if you have wheat pasta and regular pasta that the carb intake was less, but it's not. So I didn't do my research on that. So I need to make sure. But it's more fiber.
It's a little bit more fiber
In the wheat.
than in the wheat pasta. Zucchini noodles, not zucchini pasta, because there's a difference. There is a pasta that's made out of zucchini, but zucchini noodles will give you only, I believe, about 1 gram of carbs.
Oh my
So
God.
if you're somebody who's really trying to cut back on carbs, using a vegetable noodle is much better for you. And you don't have to have a spiral to cut the zucchini yourself. You can buy this in the freezer section. It's Jolly Green Giant freezer made zucchini noodles.
Okay.
I'm going to put a link. So the simplest thing to do is not to put it in the microwave because it makes it mushy.
Got it.
Cook it on the stove, let it steam, then drain it. Add you some olive oil, some red pepper and garlic. You're done.
Got it.
And just add it to your dish. And you can use this for not just this dish as option, but for another one as well.
So everyone, like she said, that zucchini noodles, if you're like literally monitoring your carb intake, that's a great option to use. I think I'm going to use that.
The last tip I'm going to give you is cutting garlic. So many people probably experience when you cut garlic, it sticks to your knife. So if you lather it with oil.
You scare me.
I know.
No, God, seriously, that knife is so close.
And or cooking spray, whichever one you have at home will work. As you see, it peels right off.
Okay.
It doesn't stick. And then you want to take out this inner core because it makes your dish bitter. And you just chop. Nothing special.
Got it. So this part right here will make your dish.
Yeah, it makes that's one thing you make your dish bitter at the end. The other thing that can make your dish bitter with the garlic is if you cook the garlic first and you let it burn. It's a horrible taste. Garlic already smells strong and good, but when you burn it, it just messes up the entire dish.
Got it.
So we can start cooking this and see how quick this goes. Another tip: you want to add your oil to a hot pan. Not cold oil to a cold pan, because if you're sitting there waiting on it to warm up and you walk away for some random reason, like grabbing something out the laundry, you will burn your pan and your oil. You see how quickly that did?
Yeah,
It's
I
already.
can feel the heat.
You,
Already.
you can feel the heat radiating off of
It's
the
getting hot in here. I can feel that heat.
So the first thing you want to do is you want to cook your tomatoes.
All right. Yeah, see, I got it there. Reese and I, we don't mix well. Especially if it pops on your breast.
Yeah, that's why you wear long sleeves when you cook. You don't cook.
Yeah, and that's why I'm not cooking. That's why I'm not
With
cooking
your
right
skin
now.
out. So as you see, the tomatoes, they're breaking down. They're getting soft. The longer you let your tomatoes cook, the stronger you start smelling that tomato flavor and the sweetness.
Got it. And so is there like a number of, you have a lot of tomatoes here.
So for this recipe, it's 2 cups of tomatoes, and it calls for a full can of black olives.
Okay.
And the full can of the artichokes.
So let me ask you a question. How many will this eat? I mean, feed? Like
So this,
serving? Yes.
4.
4 people.
Yes.
Got it. 4 people.
So I have, about the pasta, the one thing I want to point out, sometimes you never really know what a serving of pasta looks like when we cook it. So there's this little utensil that you can buy that has the servings on there. So you really just take your dried pasta and put it through, and gives you an idea of how much you need to cook for that particular dish.
Oh, that's just one.
Yeah. So you can see some of the tomatoes already cooking down. And this is when you can cook for about maybe 2 minutes. And this is when you can add your garlic.
Okay. So you have to add it in this particular way, like tomatoes first.
Tomatoes first. You want, because you want the tomatoes to cook the longest. The longer they cook, the sweeter they are.
Got it.
The garlic you want to put in after the tomatoes, because like I said, you don't want to cook these first. You don't want them to burn.
Got it.
And then you really just cook this until your garlic kind of, you start smelling it.
I was already smelling it before.
When you smell it when you smell it cooking, and you see that it's kind of a light brown, but not really burnt. So you should be able to smell that already.
And I wish you all were actually like here, because this smells delicious. I can't wait to actually try this dish. I can't.
And as you see, I haven't added any seasoning yet.
No, whatsoever.
No, I will do that last. And then the next, and I'm going to show you the reason why I had you.
So is this 4 servings?
This is 4 servings, and you see it looks like a lot. But when you put it in the pot, it doesn't look like it's that much, but it comes out a lot. Just like the reason you overcook pasta when you make mac and cheese.
Got it.
And you see how this pasta is sticking? This is why you want to reserve some of your pasta water.
Got it.
So when you put it in the pan, it'll loosen right up. Oh. And it'll loosen up with the oil too. And you want to also start cooking with a lot of oil in your pasta as well.
Got it.
So it doesn't dry up.
And that was my next question. So the oil that you put in there, how much oil was that, number 1?
I think the recipe calls for maybe 3 or 4 tablespoons, but you can always add more. It doesn't really mess up the recipe at all. It's not, you know, cooking regular cuisine food is not science. It's not hard. It's the baking part that, you know, you have to have special measurements for it.
Got it. Smells good. Now what is that?
This is your pasta water.
That's
So
the pasta water.
this is-
Okay,
so
levels
this
are like
is
lemon
what-
juice because it's kind of dark. but I
Yeah,
understand. Okay.
it has salt in here as well because you should be putting salt in your pasta. So that's why you have to watch all the salt that you put in there because it can definitely increase your salt intake.
Now, when you say it has salt in there, that's salt from the pasta.
That's
you
salt
didn't
that you
add-
added. I added salt to the pasta water.
Okay, guys.
Yeah.
So she added salt to the pasta water. Got it.
So some of
Got
this,
it.
just why I said it's always best for me and for anyone to add your salt, pepper, and other seasonings toward the end.
Lisa smells very, I don't know, heavenly. I think that's the word in here. I don't know what heaven smells like, but it smells heavenly right now. Okay, so now you got your lemon.
You got your
Got
lemon
it.
juice.
All right.
Yeah, just put a little bit in there. Nothing special.
Hey,
And
I'm sorry. I'm eating all that. It belongs to me.
Now, after all this is
Thank you.
cooked,
Let's
this is
keep it,
when
yeah.
you can add everything else. Your
So,
artichokes,
is there a particular order? Like you add
No.
the artichokes, you can do olives. Okay.
however you want to throw it in
However
there.
you. So this particular ingredient with the salt, is that something that you would do last, like after you taste your food
Yes.
first? Okay,
Yes.
got it.
That's something that you do last. Like, I know my husband loves salt,
Got it.
but I'm not a huge salt person. So I always start out with a little bit more and I allow him to add his on at the end.
Got it.
And this is our
parsley. Okay.
our Parmesan cheese.
And can you tell everybody how many calories is this dish right here?
This dish total is 276 calories.
Oh my God.
So if you're trying to watch
270?
how many calories you take
Wow,
per
that's
meal,
impressive.
even when you add chicken, that's still under 500 calories for this particular
Oh
dish.
wow.
So
That's good to know.
yeah, and it's less when you use zucchini pasta.
Right. And for people that may work out and you want to have high carbs on the day that you work out, this could be
This
a
would
good
be a
dish.
perfect
This would be a
dish.
perfect dish. High carbs. That's what you burn off as you're working out.
Because
So
you have your pasta, you have your vegetables, and if you want to add your protein, you can. I also do not eat chicken. I only eat fish.
got it.
But my husband, you know, depending on what day of the week he gets in the mood, you do it. And you see how that cheese just kind of melted in
Yeah,
there?
it's melting.
Versus
I'm
the
looking at
Parmesan
it.
cheese that would just still be sitting on top.
Got it.
I know it can maybe cost a little bit more, but it definitely is worth the investment.
Yeah, sometimes people need to step out.
Just step out,
Just
just
step
a little
out.
bit. It,
Yeah.
You know, it won't hurt. It won't hurt.
But no, you know what? Lisa, like I said, this is a great dish for those individuals that are, you know, working out, watching calorie intake.
And
Yeah.
nobody wants to eat a salad every day.
No,
I know I don't.
no. Like I almost eat a salad mostly every day. But
I can't do
I
it.
throw different things in my
Oh,
salad,
yeah,
so,
yeah. And then
so-
you can just take all the pasta out and just use it as a vegetable. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's this right here. Now, so you're adding some salt. So
just
you're
a
gonna add
little.
a little bit of
We're
salt.
not going to
okay.
add a whole lot.
So
Like,
we added a little salt in our pasta water,
just a little.
just a tad,
Just a tad.
a pinch.
Not oil. I don't know where we got the oil idea from. It's not oil.
It's not oil.
It's water.
It's water.
Yes. And then, you know, it's red pepper flakes in here and black pepper.
Got it.
So depending on how spicy you like your food will determine how much red pepper and black pepper you put in.
I'll probably put a lot of mine because I love spicy.
But then
food.
you would probably like those zucchini noodles because I think I put a tad bit too much red pepper in it for myself.
All right, so we're taking the zucchini noodles with us as well. people. it's gonna be a party.
That's it. This is it.
Is that it?
That's the dish. And then you want to make things, you want things to be pretty. So let me get this out of the way.
All right, so I guess it's presentation.
It's
You
presentation
want things
time.
to be pretty, so it's about presentation.
It's all about presentation, yes.
Presentation. God, I'm telling you, if you were here right now, this is such a wonderful smelling dish. I haven't tasted yet, but I know it's gonna taste well. I've had some of Lisa's cooking before, so.
I try, you know.
No, she ain't trying. She's
I
doing.
try for the people.
She's doing. Nike came out with this slogan, right? The Nike slogan says just
Just
do it.
do it.
And they made billions of dollars off of that.
And you see, when you pre-prep everything, it makes things go so much quicker.
Right.
And cleanup is a lot easier as well.
Yeah.
So you can just move that to the side. Everything gets stuck. And then, of course, you also want to plate your pasta first, just, you know. Just because. Where did I do this outfit? And then you just take some of your vegetables. And of course, if you had a piece of chicken or salmon or something, you just put it to the side.
So let me ask you a question about the chicken and the salmon. Would you actually cut that up and put it in the dish, or you will actually cook it separately and then put it like as a side?
Well, it kind of depends. So I would cook it separately
Mm-hmm.
because what if I don't want fish in my pasta that day or chicken in my pasta that day? So you can always just throw this in a container and put it in the refrigerator for another day and kind of move on. But yeah, that's it. Now you can always add more shredded. You
Yeah.
want to eat. You want to eat, don't you?
I just wanted to taste it. That's all, but it's okay. It's
I
okay.
think I left the fork.
We will actually taste this later on.
Yeah.
We'll taste it later on. But Lisa, I really appreciate it. This segment, it smells wonderful, everyone. This is a beautiful dish. If you can look at this dish, we have the olives, we have the artichoke, we have the tomatoes, the parsley. Oh wow! And it's like calling my name right now. Like, Aaron, like come and eat me. But we're gonna do that off the camera. So once again, we appreciate everybody actually being a part of the segment, listening to the segment, and as I said, Lisa Dupatti, you did an excellent job.
Oh, thank you.
Right.
It's just a way of letting people know that this is how you can eat to live and not live to eat.
I love that. Eat to live and not live to eat.
I did both this week, but that's okay.
I did too.
Bye.
See you.